Hey guys, today we are going to talk about solving multi-step problems with fractions and mixed numbers. So I know that word problems are definitely a struggle for a lot of kids. I completely understand. So the activity to practice today, I will show you it in a second, but I tried to make it somewhat like guiding towards the answer. So I just want you to give it a really good try and try your best, and it's okay if they are hard. Join me on Google Meet at 11:30 if you want to go through any of them with me, or email me if you have any questions. I will do 2 examples for you right now. This page is not in your packet, so I do just want you to have your math notebook out, copying down the work for these, okay? So number 1 says that before conducting some experiments, a scientist mixes a half of a gram of substance A with 3/4 gram of substance B. If the scientist uses 1/8 of a gram of the mixture for each experiment, how many experiments can be conducted? So in this situation, you have to think about what is going on. So we have 2 substances. We have substance A, substance B. He has 1/2 of a gram, substance A, 3/4 of a gram, substance B. So it says that he mixes these. He puts them together. Okay, so he puts these 2 together. So think about what operation together would be. He mixes them. That's going to be addition. Okay, so that's going to be our first step. And then after we add, it says that the scientist uses 1/8 gram of the mixture for each experiment. So that every time he does an experiment, he's going to take out 1/8 of a gram. And we need to know how many times he can do that, or how many experiments that he can do. So that right there tells me I'm going to divide. I need to find what my total mixture amount is, and then I want to divide that by 1/8 to figure out how many times I can do an experiment. So we're going to start by adding 1/2 plus 3/4. Okay, so do not forget you need to find common denominators. So we need the least common multiple of 2 and 4. So put it in your cake. 2 and 4 are divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 1 and 2 do not have a common factor, so I'm just going to make my L. 2 times 1 is 2 times 2 is 4. So my common denominator is 4. 3/4 is already in fourths, so I'm good. I just need to make 1/2 have 4 on the bottom. 2 times 2 is 4, so 1 times 2 is 2. So we have 2/4 plus 3/4. 2 plus 3 is 5. So we have 5/4 of a mixture. So normally I would have you change this into a mixed number, which is 1 and 1/4. But we already decided that we need to take that sum, which is 5/4 or 1 and 1/4, and we need to divide it by 1/8. So since we're dividing, I know I'm going to have to leave it improper because I need to make all mixed numbers improper when you're dividing. So this is going to be 5/4 of a mixture, and we're seeing how many times I can take out 1/8 from that mixture. So this is where you need to apply your keep, change, flip method when dividing fractions. We're going to keep 5/4, change division to multiplication, and then we're going to flip or find the reciprocal of 1/8, which is 8 over 1. And then we're just going to multiply across. 5 times 8 is 40. 4 times 1 is 4. So we have 40/4. So to figure out the mixed number for 40/4, we have to know how many times 4 goes into 40. Or we could just do long division. 4 goes into 4 once. 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract, you get 0. Bring down the 0, goes in 0 times. So 40 divided by 4 is actually 10. So this tells me that the scientist can complete 10 experiments. Okay, so there is the first problem. So notice I broke it down and I thought about what is going on in this situation, and that's what I expect you to do. That's the easiest way to think about the operation. Okay, so example number 2. Naomi has earned $54 mowing lawns in the past 2 days. She worked 2.5 hours yesterday and 4 1/4 hours today. If Naomi is paid the same amount for every hour she works, how much money or how much does she earn per hour to mow lawns? So we're talking about money and how much money you earn per hour. So this is where I would think about, okay, so what do I know about how much I earn at a job? So there are 2 things you need to know in order to figure out how much you're going to earn at your job. You need to know your number of hours. And then you also need to know how much you make dollars per hour. Because you got to think, let's say you work 10 hours and you make $5 per hour or $5 every hour. How much are you going to earn? Well, if I work for 10 hours and make $5 every hour, I'm going to multiply to get $50. So that tells me I always want to multiply the number of hours times the dollars per hour to get my earnings. So what do we know in this situation? I'm going to plug in what we know. So she earned $54. So earnings is $54. She worked 2.5 hours yesterday. So number of hours. I know she worked 2.5. But I also know that she worked 4 1/4 hours. And I want to know how much she earns per hour. That's what I don't know. Okay, so I need to figure out how to get that unknown. So this right here, this is a nice little preview of our algebra unit coming up. That's algebraic thinking right there, okay? I think about what I know and what I don't know. So I need to figure out how to figure out the dollars per hour. So normally I would multiply the number of hours and the dollars per hour, but I can't multiply because I don't know what the dollars per hours is. So you actually have to do the opposite of multiplication, and we're going to divide. So in order to figure out the dollars per hour, you always want to take your earnings of $54, and we're going to divide by the number of hours that she worked. Okay, and that's going to tell you how many dollars you earned per hour. So I need to figure out first how many hours that Naomi worked. She worked 2.5 one day and 4 1/4 or 1/4 the other day. So I need to add those to figure out how many hours she worked in all. So I'm going to add 2 1/2 plus 4 1/4. Okay, I need to make these in proper fractions to easily add them. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1, 5/2, plus 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17/4. Okay, so for now, I need to find common denominators. So in the last example, I figured out that the common denominator of 2 and 4 was 4. So I'm going to do the same thing. I need to make 5/2 have 4 on the bottom. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 2 is 10. So this is 10/4 plus 17/4. 10 plus 17 is 27, and that would be 27/4. So I could change this back into a mixed number. 4 goes into 27 6 times with 1 left over. Just kidding, with 3 left over. Because 6 times 4 is 24. Take away 24 from 27, and you get 3. So 6 3/4 hours is what Naomi worked. So remember how I said that we need to take our earnings, which is $54, and divide by 6 3/4 to figure out how much dollars she earned per hour. So if you don't understand all of this, of how I got this, that is okay. This is kind of like a preview for our algebra unit, and we're going to talk about this many, many times later this year. But this is what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on being able to divide 54 by 6 3/4. So how about you pause the video and try to do that division problem on your own and then come back and see if you did it correct. So try this on your own for me and pause the video. Okay, hopefully you are back and ready to figure out how much money he earned per hour. So I am going to make 6 3/4 improper. Thankfully, I actually already know that it's 27/4. So I'm going to do 54 divided by 27/4. So I need to make 54 a fraction as well, so I'm just going to put it over 1. And now I'm going to do my keep, change, flip method to divide. So we're going to keep 54 over 1, change division to multiplication, and flip to get 4 27ths. And then we're just going to multiply across like normal. So we're going to do 54 times 4 to get 216. And 1 times 27 is 27. So in your calculators, you just want to do 216 divided by 27. And you actually get 8. So that tells us that she earned $8 per hour. Okay? So I think I was nice and didn't give you any of the earnings dollar per hour ones for you to practice on your own. I chose the hardest one to do for you, okay? So for your practice for this is what it looks like. So you're going to go to the Google Slides. I'm literally giving you 5 questions. That is your practice for today and for this topic. So I put all of the problems on a different Google slide. So it's your job to go read the problem and try your best to figure it out. The answer is in one of these 3 boxes over here, okay? So it's your job to get an answer, and if it matches one of these, perfect. Like let's say you get 12 pieces. You're going to take what you got as your answer and slide it over to the box, and then you can move on to the next question, okay? So sliding it over is selecting your answer, so don't forget to do that. Let's say you get an answer and it's not one of these 3 choices. I want you to try it again. Okay, you can email me, join my Google Meet, we can do it together, whatever you want. But there are 5 questions just like that, okay? You need to slide your answer over for all 5 of them. And when you're done, just turn it in and you get your points for the day, okay? Since this is a little harder, this is worth 10 points. And if you get them all correct, I'm going to give you 2 bonus points. So you potentially could get a 12 out of 10, okay? So please let me know if you have questions. I know this is hard. I want to be there to help. So email me, join my Google Meet, come talk to me, okay?